Assalamu alaikum everybody, hope you're well, hope you're good. It's your brother Naseem Khan back once again in the limelight, and this time with another special guest I'm going to bring to you. But before I bring him to you, you know what I normally do, I show you a little intro, so let's check it out.
Yeah. Fall back! I never loved.
Overwear, my lord of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster!
I got it! Walk away. Walk away now.
And there you have it, guys, that's Oris Erhuero. He's an actor, he's a writer, and he's a producer. So, without further ado, let's give him a call. He's a busy guy, you know what I mean, so getting hold of him was a bit difficult. Let's hope he picks the phone up now.
Hello, that's him.
Hi Oris, how are you, my brother? You okay?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. You sure you don't want to call me on the regular number, or is this good for you?
No, this is good for me, my brother. This is good for me.
Okay, fantastic. How's your day? How you been going? How's everything?
I'm good, man. I just want to say thank you very much for giving us your time and coming on live with myself on In the Limelight. I just want to say thank you very much for joining us and having a little interview.
No problem. No problem.
So basically, let's go back to the basics when I was a young'un and you came in the movie. Was it Sinbad the Sailor? Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Wow, that was about almost 32 years ago, something like that. 27, maybe or less.
Yeah, I can remember. I was only about probably 6-7 years old then.
Yeah.
So how did that come about for you?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear.
My connection is pretty bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, Oris. I think we've lost him. We'll try.
No, I came back. Wow. That's should I call you on another number? Do you mind? Let me call you. Would that help?
Yeah, cool.
I'm really struggling to get to it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And there you have it, guys. He's going to give me a call back, obviously, because he's struggling. He's not actually in the UK at this moment in time. So let's see him give me a call back, and we'll just take it from there. Yeah, it's going to be a good one, this guy. It's going to be a good one. Yes, he's an award-winning actor. He's a producer. He's a writer. And he's been in the game for 26 years on film and stage. TV and film experience. Starred in one of the most popular international hit TV series in the early 90s with the title of The Adventures of Sinbad. That's the one I was speaking to him about right now. HBO film sometime in April with the Oscar nominated and BAFTA award. Right, I think he's calling. Hello, Oris.
Yes, I feel much better. Much better. More clear to me.
I actually thought because I can hear you. I actually thought you were out of town, out of the city, out of the country. Hence, I rang you off the WhatsApp.
Okay. No problem.
That's
right. We can hear now. So let's begin. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, we were talking about the Adventures of Sinbad. How did that come about for you? Were you actually into the acting scene at that time, or was it your passion?
Well, to be honest, I was actually during the period. It was my first introduction into the TV and film world.
Right.
It was something I was doing, on the side of it, not so much to get work, but to psychologically prepare myself for wanting to go into TV and film.
Fantastic.
So my career really started out doing TV commercials and modeling. I walked into the music industry by default due to a tragic event that kind of turned everything around. Because as kids, as you grow, it's important that as a young man we diversify our career and future portfolio as human beings.
Absolutely.
You take football, you take different classes, you study, you do as much as is required of you, with the hopes that by the time you are 21, you could make a solid decision or adapt and switch because you are prepared. So you could say I was more of an actor doing other things to prepare myself for the moment and the opportunity when it arrived. And lo and behold, as the universe would have it, I was, you could say I was ready, and the proof was being casted to at the time. The funny thing in life when there's a saying in boxing, you stay ready so you never have to be ready.
Yeah.
A boxer, which signifies men, period, or anyone who is willing to fight or defend to build a future. You're always in training.
Absolutely.
It's like when I read Muhammad Ali's story. Even though he was banned from boxing for a while, he was still training.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to, I'm not going to go to Vietnam. I want to fight. I'm a boxer. I got things to do. I got family to support.
Yeah.
He didn't really put it in those terms, but when the gates opened up for him to fight, when he got his license to fight, you could see it was like, wow, this guy never missed his day.
Absolutely.
It's almost like this era, we're in. Just because of the coronavirus, you don't say to yourself, well, I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait. No, you use what's around you to prepare yourself. So once things are in order, you're able to get back to work. So that's how it was for me, going back with Sinbad. The moment of opportunity came. I was very fortunate that even that time I was modeling, which is another form of also gaining confidence for me at that time.
Absolutely.
And then TV commercials. These are like mini movies and mini TV spots that come on from anything from 30 seconds to 1 minute. Commercial.
Absolutely.
A platform where directors, producers, up-and-coming actors can really stretch and prepare themselves. Now, commercials, one has to be very, very careful, because commercials, you have to tell a story of a product, or that usually would take people 10 hours to do, all in one split second. So that really helped me, if that's to answer your question.
No,
so that's how that's what led me in 94, 95 to starring in my first TV or acting gig, as I would put it. And actually, it was my first acting gig that I ever auditioned for.
Fantastic. And obviously, going back to that time, should I say, it was a bit difficult. Obviously, a man of your caliber, of your background, as it was for many of us people as Muslims, to come into something like that. Did you find it difficult?
Yes, of course. I come from an African background, as you know. I come from even though I was born in London. I'm from a West African parents, Nigeria. A very background where and if Nigeria is half 65% Islam,
Absolutely.
society, and so that's a lot of our parents from that type of world are like the parents in the Middle East.
Yeah.
They and especially when they move from there to move to my parents, they my father moved in the 60s to England.
Yeah.
In the 60s in England, as you know, there's a joke, and it's different stuff, no dogs, no blacks, no Irish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So most of the Pakistanis and the Indians and the Africans that came to England were invited. A lot of them came on scholarship to come to study, and the scholarship somehow, some way, people kind of ended up not fulfilling their dreams. So a lot of our parents had to drive cabs, and our moms, went to sewing factories, and that didn't work out. And
absolutely. I remember. My father.
It strained the relationship of us children in the 60s. The Indians, the Pakistanis, the Africans, and the Irish, most so because we were under. We were kids. As kids, you don't really see what your parents are going through to feed the family.
Yeah.
So the last thing they wanted to hear was, "I want to be an actor." That.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
like, what?
Yeah. Come again.
They want you to be doctors and lawyers and the things they know that brings money, the things that brought them to England. So
absolutely.
It was all, you got that pressure from her. Then you also have the pressure from those people who are privileged, very privileged, and esteemed to do these type of things. From very aristocratic, affluential background, who they did it, and it was almost like, yes, they had the best environment for it. It was a very prestigious thing to do, to say, I would like to be an actor. You even had the likes of Sidney Poitier. He came out to England to do a very wonderful film. I saw that I think it was in the 50s or 60s, an amazing film. And of course, he was he played this black teacher in England. So those type of films were very, and they were produced and directed by very influential film companies. So by the looks of all that, for people like my parents, and down to my generation, it looked like a far away thing.
Like a dream,
It looked like it looked like a great dream, but far away. So for me, I felt the only place in the world that I felt at that time, in the 80s as a kid, the only place in the world I felt in my heart that I might just get a glimpse of hope was America, because they were open to, rap music. If you breakdance, which I did, and hang out with a lot of rappers, and to them, the breakdancing and the hip hop era was on the rise in America. Commercials, every commercial you turned in America, there was a guy, dancing, breaking, the Olympics in LA. Things were just like, wow. So for me as a kid, seeing that on British TV, I was like, man, I got to go out there, because I don't see myself at that time on British TV, and and if I do, I'll probably just be playing background. So I was smart. I was kind of smart enough to see that to make the move I made. So at the age of 16, 17, I was on my way to New York, and I never looked back. And that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I was blessed and very fortunate to listen to myself and follow my heart, follow my dream. So sorry, for such a long question, but
no.
It's a lot complicated than that.
No. Oris, my brother, you let it out, man. What we're gonna do now? We're gonna quickly go for a break. It's gonna be about a minute or so, and then we'll bring you back on the line. Yeah, just stay on the line, Oris. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Right, guys, we're just going to take a quick break,
No
and Brother Oris is with us on the line, giving us his special time, and we'll be back just after a short break. Right, guys, welcome back. Yeah, that was Oris Erhuero as our guest today. Fantastic actor, fantastic writer, and fantastic producer. He's given us his special time, to come on my show and give us his time. So I'm just going to get him back. 1 second. Let's give him a call again.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Oris. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right, so your journey to America, when you arrived in America, how was that for you? Overwhelming, or you thought, right, this is it, I'm going to do it?
It was first of all, it was very, very exciting. I had made sure I saved a lot of money, and it was originally for me to. I arrived in New York, and at that time I was still following the hip hop world. You're talking in the '80s, so I was really fully committed in my breakdancing and wanted to be part of the era, and finding where I could actually contribute and make a future living in hip hop in New York. So at that time, I kind of put the acting thing at the back burner because I thought I wasn't quite I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. Though it was there, the basics of it was there for me. I was more entrenched in the music world. So following people like Public Enemy, the rappers, Ultramagnetic MCs at that time, and just really immersed in the breakdance world, being with the who's who of that type of community, and just honing my skills. Of course, I had a part-time job which I was also doing. So at night I would kind of go into Manhattan and we'd go to Live Quarter. This is where all the breakdancers and the rappers would go, and people like KRS-One would go and perform, and all the who's who of the rap world at that time to what you see now. With that happening, I thought to myself, okay, let me just hang out with these guys. And I was very fortunate to Chuck D from Public Enemy at that time. They were on tour with Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, Run DMC, all this group. They were working on their second album, and he said, "Oris, look, would you like to come and spend some time with us in the studio and learn how we do things, and also I want you to lend you have such a great voice, and I want you to lend us your voice for a track called She Watched Channel Zero."
I bet you were like,
you hear me She watch. That's my voice. So it was like I was so excited, man. I was just over the moon. I went in the studio, I think about 12 in the afternoon, Green Street Studio, and then I didn't come out of that studio too late, because after I did my part, I was just...
You were like over the moon. You were like, yeah, this is it.
So I used to, so, you know, so it was from that journey. I also then thought, you know what, maybe I should be an A&R. Maybe I should be the guy that would be able to listen to a lot of musicians, and you know, kind of influence the label to sign them up.
Yeah.
Because you know, I also had a good ear, right? You know, that's my world. You know.
Yeah.
And a tragic event down the road happened where I was forced to look at my life and make a decision.
Right.
So what I did was move from New York. I moved from New York to Miami, and from there, you know, I remember just, you know, waiting table, you know, at a restaurant, you know, washing dishes, and I was, you know, I was in the hospital for a while, so when I left New York, I just kind of wanted to walk away and get away from everything. Little did I know that I was actually walking into my destiny, into exactly what I should be doing.
Look at
So you talking about 92, you talking about 93.
Yeah.
92, 93. So I get out of that and I move to Miami, literally with a bag, with a plastic bag with my gym clothes and my sneakers, and a brand new sneakers.
Yeah.
And just to start a whole new life. But I said I wanted to take a break from everything, from music, from rap, you know, the thought of being this or being that, and let me just see. Then if all goes well, I would head back to New York.
So basically,
you know,
Oris.
I ended up, you know, finding a job at a restaurant, and you know, again, like I said, you know, washing dishes, doing this, and one evening, the owner of the restaurant said to me, "Look, man, you know, I don't like the fact that a young, talented guy like you is hiding behind the restaurant washing dishes. You know, I see how you talk to people, man. You know, you never know what's going to happen in front of the house. So, starting next week, I want you to be our waiter. Study the wine list, study this, study the best menu, get out there and you know, get the customers buying, and you'll make more money doing it."
So Oris,
I think that kind of gave me a confidence.
Oris, can I just say something in there that basically you went to find yourself after that, and you went to find yourself, break away from everything just to see where you want to be heading, and you did the hustle. You did the hustle and the bustle. You know, you grafted like all of us do. I mean, when I was in the music game and myself back in the day, I used to do the same. But there's nothing to be afraid of, and there's nothing to be shy of, because you have to earn a living. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, no doubt. You said it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You are absolutely right. But you know, at that time, you know, I was young. You know, and it was, you know, as young kids as we are at that time, when things happen and we feel broken, it just needs that. You always kind of need that person to give you that little push.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's what happened. You know, I from serving, going in the front of the house, serving the front restaurant, really being polite, welcoming people to the restaurant. That's where this photographer discovered me. And next thing you know, he was taking pictures of me, you know, on my day off work.
Look at
and
that.
He sent the pictures to agencies around the world.
Super.
And before you know it, I was, you know, flying around the world doing all this modeling, commercials. And it was that journey. You know, a casting director who used to cast me from you know, for a lot of the commercials I was doing, she said to me, "Hey, man, you know, there's a new TV show coming into town, and it's going to be shooting." I think I was in South Africa. Yeah, I was in South Africa. She said, "It's going to be shooting right here in South Africa."
Right.
This is because she's always known that I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
She said, "Listen, these producers from Los Angeles are coming in. If you do a good job, you will literally walk into Los Angeles, Hollywood like that. Boom. If you do a good job." And that has led me to where I am 20-something odd years later.
Superb. So after you progressed on from there, what's I think it's a Redcon, the movie that you did, the recent one, wasn't it?
Say it again?
Yeah, the recent movie that you did, was it Redcon? Yeah.
Yes,
Redcon
with
1.
Redcon.
Yeah.
Well, after that, I went on to do, after Sinbad, I had a bit of a dry spell.
Yeah.
And from there, I went on I went on to do a lot of TV series guest appearance. I went on to do like a lot of, I just went to stars, the guest bad guy on all the American top TV series at that time.
Yeah.
And the big break was Highlander 4 with Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went on to do Black Mask.
Yeah.
And with Wu Peng. Wu Peng is the action director for Ip Man, The Matrix. All the films with Donnie Yen. These are the crew that put that. So I went on to work with him, and they kind of gave me an advice. They said to me, "Listen, Oris, you're really a talented actor and a martial art actor, but be very careful because we hate to see a lot of incredible talents like you, like in Hong Kong, who are so good, but they end up playing a bad guy and being used. And waste their energy. So you got all this, and before you know it, all of a sudden you're a stuntman that you didn't want to be a stuntman. They said you're just really, really talented. To set myself up and wait for a good action film where I will be the lead.
Yeah.
And if I can, to go to focus more on the drama aspect, because they knew I do a lot of behind the scene. I practice, I rehearse, I do stuff to keep fit.
Yeah.
And after Black Mask, it was a very little character, and I was a bit upset about that because I actually went to replace another actor who was kicked off the movie.
Yeah.
So my part was a bit small, and then listening to Wu Peng, I think they were going on to do Crouching Tiger at that time, and they were just telling me stuff. They were just kind of really guiding me and protecting me.
Yeah.
The result of that conversation led me to my other films as the leading guy. Since then I've just waited and done nothing but leading roles.
Yeah.
And Redcon 1 is another major one now that you see on Netflix, as where I'm the main leading character.
Absolutely.
So yes, that's the result of Redcon 1.
Super.
And today.
I just want to say thank you very much, Oris, for giving us your time. I really, really appreciate it. And obviously, people don't know that I know your family as well, because they're like brothers to me, Edward, Andy, and Peter. Yeah. So obviously, it's a small world, isn't it? And I just want to say, before you go, can you say a message for the youngsters out there?
Absolutely. Like Nassim and I, we just said it, and Nassim said it very well. There's nothing to be ashamed of, if this is what it is you want to do, or if it's, you wanted to be a doctor, lawyer, or businessman, or especially more so at this time. Never give up. Be willing and be ready to adapt and evolve, because the new you that will change your destiny is in you right now, this very moment. So never give up, especially at this time with the pandemic and all this stuff going on. Be smart, don't give up. We can't give up. Nassim, he knows that. He's a prayerful man. I meditate a lot. So we are both very fortunate that we have a belief system in our life. And if it's a lot of you can also find a belief system that works for you. Find a mentor, people to really push you and give you that encouragement, to go forth and accomplish your dream. But first and foremost, please never give up. Never, ever give up. Keep going, because you just never know. Nassim will tell you, we come from a whole different background, and that's open many doors for us. You just never know.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Oris, once again, me, from the bottom of my heart. And a beautiful message you've given there. And I hope to speak to you soon. And maybe one day we can meet up and get you live in the studio.
Oh, absolutely. That's it. Absolutely. No doubt about that. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. You take care. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. And there you have it, guys. Brother Oris Erhuero, a beautiful gentleman, a very talented, multi-talented gentleman. And, you know, he's taken time out to give me his time for my show. And I just really, really appreciate that, because there's so many people out there, your local celebrities, you know, and they have, you know, the attitude and pride, and they just don't want to know. But this gentleman here, you know, he's come from the Hollywood background, the Los Angeles background, and he has a faith in him as well. And at the end of the day, he was he gave me his time and he came on. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show in the limelight with myself, Naseem Khan, and Oris Erhuero. And hopefully catch you again next week. Stay safe, keep 2 meters apart, and make sure you wear the mask. Allah Hafiz.